You're listening to a special edition of the Just Go Bike podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it. With tales from all over the nation. Come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile.
On this special edition, we are going to provide you with daily tales from the trail as we ride our bikes across the state of Iowa as part of RAGBRAI 50.
Woohoo! And we apologize in advance for the volume. We are going to be podcasting live each episode.
Well, hello. We have a special guest right here today. And you are?
Beth Howard.
Beth Howard. And I think of you as the pie lady.
Ooh.
Yes, I've been called that a few times.
Yeah.
Wait.
There are a lot of pie ladies, though.
But I was going to say, why are you called the pie lady?
Why am I the pie lady? I lived in the American Gothic house in Eldon, Iowa.
Whoa.
You know, the painting with a couple of
Yes.
the pitchfork, and that little white house is a real house. And I moved in. The rent was $250 a month.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
in Southeast Iowa. And I opened a pie stand called the Pitchfork Pie Stand. And it got really, really popular.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm the
And
pie
then,
lady.
so fast forward to 2023, here we are at RAGBRAI, and there's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, the pie is a very big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I moved out of the house in 2014. Then I went around the world making pie in 9 countries,
Whoa.
only to end up back in Iowa on a farm. And I finished my book, World Peace. It came out in September. And then I was like, now what? I need a new project. And I'm sure as heck not going to write another book right now. Oh, how about if I make a documentary about pie in Iowa? Piowa.
Love it.
Piowa.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
then what better event to cover than RAGBRAI? Because pie is a huge deal. There's Team No Pie Refused.
Yes.
Team Pie Hunter. There's Dr. Pie. I mean, it goes on. People
Yeah.
are crazy for pie on this bike ride.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And okay, so, I mean, I don't know if a pie lady can actually claim a favorite. I mean, you're probably like, oh, I have like 17 favorites. Do you have a favorite?
Homemade pie is my favorite, number one. And you have to be careful. There are lots
Yes.
of store-bought pie on the ride. So, you know, just look for the ones that are a little messy, that don't have a perfect crust.
Perfect,
Those are the
okay.
ones that really like have the juice pouring out of the top.
Yeah.
This
those
is
are my
a
favorite.
pro tip.
Yeah,
Pro
that's a
tip,
huge
yeah.
pro tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what are you doing this week? Are you actually riding, or are you jumping from town to town?
So I'm going to be in Quimby all day tomorrow. We're going to do a time lapse from the time they set up at 5 in the morning until their last pie is sold.
Nice.
We were there all day yesterday filming them baking the pie. 7 organizations came together to collectively bake for the, which is really cool. They're going to share the profits among all these different churches and organizations in this town. 249 people, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be there tomorrow seeing that one through all the way to the end. And then we're going to jump ahead to Breda, Iowa,
Yep, okay.
where Kay's Corner, that's K, Corner with a K.
Yes.
She's like an 85-year-old lady, made 100 pies, mostly rhubarb, from local patches, which is so cool,
That's
right?
so
Homegrown
special.
rhubarb.
Yeah.
And she's selling pies at her cafe. So we'll be there all day on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're going to Rippey to the Iowa Beer Bus and home sliced pies.
Ooh.
I promise you, those are going to be some killer pies.
All right.
And you get beer with your pies.
I was going to
So,
say beer
yeah.
and pie. I don't know if I've ever had that, but I would love to try it.
Well, I remember being on RAGBRAI like in the 90s going, God, what's with all the beer? And now I'm like, what's with all the pie? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it probably goes without saying, but when you're going to these places and talking to these other pie people, is that part of the documentary?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, so we're doing the pie competition at the Iowa State Fair. We have to do RAGBRAI.
Yeah.
Come on. Plus, I'm a huge RAGBRAI fan. I did RAGBRAI number 8.
no
cool.
way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so awesome.
That was a long time ago. It was fun. It was so small back then.
Yeah.
And so RAGBRAI's going to be in it, and then we're going to go to a bunch of different pie shops around the state and meet other quirky pie bakers, young and old alike, and then there's all these new, young, up-and-coming pie bakers.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Oh,
you
how
guys
cool.
are in Des Moines? Is that
Yes.
right?
Well, I'm out of Des Moines and Murph is out of Cedar Rapids.
I'm out of
Oh,
Cedar
okay.
Rapids.
All right.
Yep.
Well, there's
Yep.
like an Australian pie company. They do hand meat pies in
Oh.
Des Moines called
Oh.
Pie Mates. They're going to be on the ride. They're at the what's the brewery there? It begins with a C along the bike
Confluence.
path. Thank you.
Yes.
Confluence
Yeah.
Brewery. They're going to be selling hand
Another
pies.
opportunity
Savory.
for
I love
pie
a savory
and
pie
beer.
once in a
Yeah,
while.
right? Something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're not touring and doing documentaries, where do you call home now?
I live on a farm near Donaldson, Iowa.
Donaldson. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 1,000 acres. closest neighbor is a mile away.
Oh
It's
my
like,
gosh.
so it's really fun to be out and being around people, like
Yeah.
30,000 of them at once. It's kind of go one extreme to the other.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And so when we first met, you handed us a business card so that people could possibly be in the documentary with their own
Right.
videos. Can you tell us a little bit
Right.
about that?
So the documentary is called Piowa. And one of the things that I really love about Pi is that it builds community. So I really wanted this film to offer participation, a way for
Yeah.
other people to get involved.
Yeah.
And people, everyone's got a Pi story. Everybody. How many times have you sat here on your podcast? All these people came up to you and wanted to talk about Pi.
Oh,
Yes,
we've
absolutely.
asked it
Yes.
a million times.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's got a really great Pi story. So I'm saying share your Pi story with us. Tell
Yeah.
us what's your favorite Pi memory. What's your favorite Pi? Why do you think Pi can make the world a better place?
Yeah.
I will tell you that I made one pie in my life, and baking it for like 3 hours is too long. I found that out.
Oh,
And so
right.
now I let my mom and my grandma do the pie baking in my family. So
That's what timers are for.
Yeah.
Alarms.
Yeah.
I set my.
you put it in the oven and you walk away and you
No,
forget
don't,
about it because I don't
don't,
even.
no.
I mean, I thought ovens were just for storage.
Murph, you're digging a hole.
Shit.
You're digging a
Okay.
hole.
I mean,
You need
I
a
mean,
pie
sorry.
lesson.
Yes.
You need a pie
I
lesson.
think I'm going to leave the pie baking to people like you
Oh
who
no,
love
but
pie.
see, that's my whole mission is to get people to get over their fear of pie and show
Okay.
them how
Yeah.
easy
All right.
it is.
I'm in. I am in.
And you know what? I am also guilty of walking away from my oven, which is why I set my timer for 10-minute intervals on my phone, and it just
So you
Very
could
good.
check it out.
Every
well,
10
that's a
minutes,
great
I
tip.
look
I'm
in
gonna
the oven.
I'm gonna
That's
take
right.
that back.
Right.
And I-
Don't be afraid of pie. Pioneers made pie.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? They
Okay.
didn't have all the fancy
All right.
stuff.
I'm still nervous.
In my
I'm
family,
sorry.
I'm known for making a blueberry pie, and I'll tell you, my secret is that it's easier than it looks.
That's the easiest one because you don't have to peel
exactly.
any fruit. You just throw
Yep.
the berries in
Just
there,
put
toss
it in
them
there.
with some sugar.
Yep.
Yeah,
I make a
you're good.
lattice, and everybody thinks I worked real hard.
Exactly.
No.
And you're the most popular person in the room because, oh my
Exactly.
God, you made
Yeah.
that. Oh my
Exactly.
God.
See, I
And
wanted
it
to
makes
be.
people
I
happy.
wanted to be that person.
Yeah.
You
well,
can. There is still
Okay.
time.
there's
Thank
still-
you. I
yep,
appreciate
There's
that,
still hope
yeah.
even for you.
If there's any reason I came on this podcast today, it's to give you the confidence and the kick in the butt.
Yeah,
You need to
come
go
on,
make
Murph.
some pie.
Yeah.
And do you have like a website or anything that people can go
Yes,
look to
it's-
find more about Piowa?
Yes, it's theworldneedsmorepie.com.
Amen
it,
to
right?
that.
And
Amen.
I just want to say that Beth has compiled a list of all, maybe not a comprehensive list because maybe that's not possible, but a long list of pie stops along
36.
RAGBRAI that was shared with us, and we thank you for that.
You're welcome. That was a lot of work, but
Yeah.
Facebook was really helpful and
Yeah.
people contributed. And so, yeah, I have 36 pie stops, and I'm sure there are more. And tell me about them if you find
Yeah,
them. I would love to
absolutely.
hear, and I would love people to write in or do their videos or email me and tell me what their favorite pie was and
Yeah.
what I missed on the list and
Yeah.
what their highlights were about the pie
Yeah.
of RAGBRAI.
Well, we printed out the list and we'll certainly be referencing it. So
Great.
Excellent. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
theworldneedsmorepie.com. Everyone go check that out. And thank you, Beth, for coming on the
Yeah,
podcast.
it's great to meet
yes,
you both.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Well, listeners, that is it for today. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to this special edition of Just Go Bike Podcast.
And if you would like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan. And if you have any extra time, pop on over to the Murphology podcast for more bike adventure interviews.
Okay, that's a wrap. We'll be back soon. Until then, just go bike!